Hey guys, welcome to Learn and Build. And today we're going to discuss about the new topic that we have for the series that we were discussing about C programming language. And today we're going to discuss about file handling, right? So in this topic, we're going to discuss about how to open, how to write, how to read, or how to do some operations upon the files. Like till now, what we were discussing, what we were gone through is like to deal with the data where every single data is in different types, and we are dealing those data types inside the program itself. So outside the program, if outside the program somewhere, if you want to write some data, right? If some specific data is available in any particular file and you want to read that, right? So some interactions that you want, basically in between your program and outside file. So if that you want basically to interact between the files, that is possible through this file handling, right? So let us first of all understand how all these kind of operations are possible theoretically, and then we'll go practical part with with the practical part of this particular topic also. Okay, so let's go and understand what is this file handling. Okay, so suppose, like, here you have a program, you have written in programming, right, language. Okay, now here there is a file. Suppose, for example, like we have test file. Okay, test, maybe we might have text.txt or test.c, or any specific file format, right? So if any plain text is available, because these file format used to capture a data in plain text, right? So whatever you are writing, like you are writing hello, lnb, maybe anything, right? So whatever you are writing, those things will be written, will be available in these files with plain text. Okay, plain text means, like, if you are writing it in pdf. So what happens in pdf, it used to encode a data. So if you'll write hello lnb, so this thing can be converted into any specific file or any specific data, because it would be encrypted, because PDF file format used to encrypt the data, right? It has to compress the data also, so it will not be available in plain text. Size of PDF file and size of this text file, if you will compare in the end, will be having some specific small difference, right? Maybe it could be in MB, and it could be in, suppose this is of 5 MB, it could be 3 MB space only, right? Because PDF has compressed this particular data basically. So let's talk about this file format where we have everything available in plain text. Okay, and we want to read this data in program. So how to have the interaction between them? So any programming language, either you're talking about C is the one of the most uh, you know uh, interactive language that a programmer used to start with. So if you are starting from C programming itself, and you're going with maybe different programming languages like C sharp, C++, Java, or maybe Python, or any other language, so everywhere you will find out a topic called file handling. So this topic, in every single programming language, used to deal with interaction between a programming language with the outside files. Okay, so if you want to deal with these kind of things, that we have a topic called file handling. So this file handling has primarily some specific functions or specific commands, you can say. So those are inbuilt commands that we get, like we have inbuilt command called printf, right? Printf. We have scanf, right? Scanf. Likewise, we have some more inbuilt functions for file handling. Let us talk about those first of all. So we have first command that is called as fopen. Fopen, right? This another one that we have. This function is to open the file. Like suppose this is your computer, right? This is your computer. Here there is a file called test, right? Test.c. So how you'll open this file? You'll just select this file first from your cursor, from your mouse. Then you will double click over there, right? You will double click over there, and then this file will be getting opened. So now this file is open. Now you can read everything whatever is available from your eyes, and whenever you want to close that, you can close by clicking on this closed button. Okay, this is how you do operations manually. But through programming, we have got some functions, inbuilt functions. Okay, so the first function is to open this file, to double click on the file using some specific function that we have got, f open, right? Then if you want to read something, for reading something we have another function that we used to call as f get s, f get s, right? To write something we have f put s. This is to write, this is to read, this is to open, and the last is close. So these are the, or f close, right? This is the function, these are the functions, and these are the operations to close the file. Okay, so fget is to get some data which is available in the file. Fput is to put some data which you want to write in this file. Suppose hello is written and you want to write lnb after that, or maybe this is the blank file, right? Here you want to write something, okay, a message or any specific details, any specific data that you want to write inside this file, that you can do through this particular fgetS function, sorry, fputS function. Okay, so now we have got four functions. Now let us understand how these functions individually used to work. Okay, and what will be the syntax of these four functions. What will be the syntax? Syntax means how to write these commands, how to use these commands in programming. Okay, so f open, file open, and the data type that we used to call for this is file, file, right? So file is a kind of pointer itself. It's kind of pointer itself. It needs a pointer, and that pointer will actually work for opening or closing, all for all these operations of these functions to deal with. Okay, so f open, suppose we have a file name that is test dot c, right? And this test dot c, that we want to write something first of all. So for writing, this function requires two different arguments. The first argument is that file or the path of that file, and the second argument that we have is the operation that you want to do. So if you want to do some writing operations, you have to write here w. Okay, w. Okay, so now you have got a file pointer. Suppose that pointer is fp. Okay, so fp is equal to f open, that file name, and the operation that you want to operate or do upon this file basically. Okay, now fp is that variable, now is that pointer now, upon which you can actually use to write some data basically now. Okay, so we have got another function called f put s. Suppose we have a data, right? Suppose this data that we are having is hello lnb, right? This is the data that we have, right? This data is available, this specific text is available in this particular variable called character type array, right? So we have put fputS command, through which we can write like fputS data comma fp. So in this file pointer or fp pointer, this data which was available with a text called hello lnb, this would be copied, or this would be written. And where we have written this data, because fp was denoting, is signifying this particular file basically, right? So now this data, that hello lnb, will be written in this test file. Okay, this is the function. Now if you want to close this, if you will not close, until unless you don't close the file, your data which you have written will not be appearing. Okay, automatically, if you'll close the program, nothing will be written inside this. Like you might have seen, if you have written something here, right? And if you don't close this file, maybe your systems get shut down without saving your data, right? Without saving your file, then this data will not be available and will be vanished. Yes or no? So these three operations are available for writing some information in a particular file. Similarly, if you want to read some data, Suppose this data is already available in a file. This data is already available in a file. Okay, so from this file we want to read. So the one simple thing that you have to change is inside this fopen command, fopen, then test dot c, and that will be in read mode. Okay, that will be in read mode now. So fp is equal to fopen test.c comma r. Now if you have to get some data, the command would be, or the function would be fget s, right? Now you want to read data into, you have to read this entire text into data. How many maximum characters could be? Suppose 20. And now that you want to read it from fp. Okay, and finally you have to close this file. You have to close this file. So these are the functions, or these are the commands to read some data for reading, and this is to write some data, writing. Okay, so let's see whether can we have these operations practically. Okay, how will work with these kind of operations basically. Okay, yeah, so let me switch on to this editor, onlinegdb.com. Yeah, so we have imported something. Let's just create a particular uh, pointer first, file fp, right? Like we used to create a pointer here, and that we can write open your file, right? So f open within bracket test.c comma w, right? And to open a file with pointer fp is equal to f open, something like this. Okay, now you want to write some data. So let's have a variable where we can store this data, suppose of 50 characters long, and let us put something here, hello, learn and build, right? So I want to write this data, into test.c file. Okay, yeah, so now you have to write through f put s command, f put s within bracket f data comma fp, and you have to complete the sentence while putting f put s within bracket while backslash n, so that it should be an end of the sentence. Okay, yeah, so this is how you can end of the sentence in that particular file. And let's close this file now, f close fp, and let us see whether how will this program work, whether we'll get some file. And the specialty of this f open command while working with writing operations is that if your file is not available, test.c is not available automatically, so it will create a new file, and it will first, if it is available, then your data will be written in the same file. If this is not available, if this test.c is not available, then a new file will be created, and inside that file this data will be written. Okay, so let me run this program now. Yeah, so open your file, and this is the new file. You can see main program, main file is there, and test.c is there, and where we have written hello, learn and build, right? So we have opened, or we can write let us open our file test.c, right? And backslash n. Now we can write some more sentences just to make it more meaningful. Let's write our data now Okay, and we can write one more sentence. Data is written successfully, and now file is closed. File is closed. Okay, yeah, so let us run this program again. Yeah, because this file is already available, let me close this now. Online compiler may create this kind of issue. However, it will not happen in your local or offline compilers, right? So let us open your file, that is test.c. We have opened. Automatically a new file has got created, and the data that we wanted to write has got written here, and this is what we wanted to write. Okay, so now if I close this file again and I want to change this data, hello learn and build, it's awesome, right? Just a simple sentence. Let us see whether we'll get the same data over there as well. Yeah, so hello learn and build, it's awesome. So this is what we have seen to write some data, right? To write some data, if you want to check whether some file, let me just run this program once again, right? So this is how we have created something. Let me just remove this, maybe. Yeah, let me write lnb itself, right? So this is one of the file. Let us try to read this data now. Okay, let us try to read this data. Let me just copy this and paste somewhere. Yeah, so maybe here, day 21. That's the second last class for C programming, and the second last topic also. After this we'll be talking about dynamic memory allocation, and that will be the end of this programming language, the programming course. And then we'll discuss about the project, right? If you'll have some doubt, we'll take that doubt session as well. Okay, yeah. So like we have discussed here, to read something we have these kind of commands. Let's try to put them now. Okay, open that into read mode. Let's read our data now. Okay, so instead of put s, it will be get s. F get s data 20, maybe 50, however only 20 letters are there. So we need to read till we don't get we don't get this data until is equal to null, right? And this is what is the trick here. Okay, print f percentile s comma data. So what we have done here, because there were multiple letters, so this f get s will be starting from the first letter, and then it will go ahead one by one, right? So it will reach out to the last place, and here we have to check whether null is coming up or not. Okay, null is coming up or not. So that's why we'll just run this loop. We'll run this loop until or unless we'll not get null. As soon as we'll get null, this operation will get shut down, and every single letter which was coming up and we were reading up, right? So that is going to be printed just because of this particular print statement. So whatever is coming in data will be printing it out, and once you will come out of it, we'll write the sentence data is read successfully. Okay, and we have closed the file also. Cool. So I don't think we need to change anything else in the program. Yeah, so if this is cool, let's try to run this code also. It may create some issue, it may not, depending. This is a open I mean online compiler, right? But this program is okay. Now you can deal with this kind of secondary file, whatever and wherever is available, right? and this is the program which you can test to read something from a particular file. Okay, so the main important thing that you need to remember in this topic is that we have a data file format or data type, basically here, that is, or keyword that we have to use here is file. Okay, and this would need a particular variable to create as a pointer. Okay, and if you have some data either to write or to read something. Okay, to read or write. Okay, so we have in read mode, we need not to write this. Yeah, so we have created a particular array, right, of data here for maximum 50 characters long. So whatever whatever data will be available in that file will be coming back to this particular variable, and we have to print this variable also here. Okay, and the entire flow that we have seen is quite same as we had earlier for writing some data inside the file. Okay, and so this is how you can deal with writing some operations under your file handling topic. Okay, apart from this, yeah, we have some more operations. Let me tell you some more operations that you can go with. Yeah, so we have gone through with two operations, that read or write or read, sorry. Apart from this, if you want to append, we have a. If you want to do some more operations, that we have a plus, w plus, r plus, right? Okay, and you have wb in binary or bitwise mode, right? And what else? Maybe that's it. These are the important operations that you have to go through in file handling. So instead of, so these operation will help you when you are going with fopen command. Okay, so fopen file, right, comma, operation, and these are the operation that you have, either w or r or w plus, r plus, a plus, and wb. All these operations can be used here. Okay, and you have to create a pointer like this. So now we have seen in this lecture how to read or write some data externally, right? Externally in a file, and that file we have created was test.c. So any file format that is actually available for plain text to be written, that you can use over here in this particular file handling topic. Okay, so that's it for today, and for the next lecture we'll see this thing, right, dynamic memory allocation, which will deal with your data to be written in dynamic file format. If you have specified some specific area, suppose you have created 50, like here in the program we have created the space for 50 characters long, and if you want to just change this space in running program, so that can be done through dynamic memory allocation, DMA. Okay, so that we'll see in the next lecture. So this was the second last lecture for this programming. I am just repeating it once again, right? So we'll meet in the next lecture, and we'll see the doubt, we'll see your doubts basically in doubt class. So keep learning and do your practice, so that you should find out some doubts, and if you have some, we'll discuss upon. Okay, so thank you so much for attending this one, and let's meet in the next class. Thank you. Bye bye.